Want to spice up your listening? Smart Shuffle can weave in song recommendations for your playlist when you join Spotify Premium. Or start a jam, where you can invite your friends to create and add to shared playlists, all with unlimited skips and repeats. Tap the banner to learn more.
Okay, let me open. Ah, great. My microphone is working for the first time in a while. Yes. Hello everybody. Good night. Uh, I hope you guys are doing well. I hope everybody is doing fantastic. I realize my live screen isn't set up for like when I have this thing when I have art streams in the background. But art streams have become so rare these days that my live thing, I don't really have like the time to properly set it up. So yeah, it's a bad thing and it's a good thing. Anyway, let me start the dilly dally because honestly, it's not gonna be a long stream tonight. It's probably gonna be a short stream, probably. Not sure. Hmm. But yeah, let me switch over to the art scene. I actually don't know if Pure Ref is showing. So, I have a few things to update next time I get on to like updating my overlays, which hopefully will probably be during the months of November, December, depending on how the job market is looking. But I am currently sketching tonight. Tonight is just gonna be a real simple stream. Hopefully. So if there's anybody new here and is not aware or isn't associated, uh, this character here is Kerry. She is one of my Osisu channel. Also, let me make sure my audio is working correctly. It, yeah, it is. It is. Yay. So, at least I think it is. Spotify might be slightly louder than my actual voice, so I'll just tune it down a little bit. This is the art piece I've been working on for probably a few days, like 2-3 days. I mean, because I haven't really gotten around to properly doing the things that I need to in a while. I'm using Clip Studio for this. So that way I can actually work out a little bit better the things that I want to do. So I have a very, 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 very basic sketch. You can even see some of the reference here. That's the 3D model that I was using. Just so I could be like, oh, this is what I want. This is what I want to look like. And also, like, forgive me because I think I mentioned before, like I think I mentioned before that whenever I use my honk VTuber to switch expressions, it's not honk, it's PNG tuber remix. Whenever I use this to switch expressions, these expressions that get switched often enough are typically what's on my mouse, so I probably won't be able to fully emote properly for a while because I won't be having my hands on my mouse, especially since everything's on my drawing tablet. Well, in any case, regardless, there will be a few things that I'll be, adjusting here. Hopefully tonight, I can properly remember how to draw hands and how hands work and how hands wrapped around the object. I need to actually draw a witch broom, and for some reason I'm struggling for that. I don't know why. I really can't explain myself why I'm struggling. I'm just having a little bit of a dry spell. We have. It's good. It's also a little bit of prep for me for Saturday. I'm gonna be having like a little draw together type thing where everybody can come in and just draw on Magma Studios. But I'll probably be, if you guys are interested in that, you're gonna have to let me know beforehand. But yeah, I have a drawing plan for tonight. My layers probably look awful. for anybody looking at it for like the first time. And I completely think that I accidentally messed up my layer stats. So let me move up some of these things. Call this broom. The broom folder. Or at least, part of the broom. The original concept was essentially just, taking on a broomstick. But I'm not too sure if I want to make it fully zoomed out or if I just want to have it as sort of like wallpaper stylized. So I know tonight I'm going to be doing some corrections on the face, mainly because while I was drawing this initially, I decided that the head was a little too high. You can sort of see it here. Where's my head? So this is head measures, but these are just the measurements. You can sort of see it here. If I quickly just, lift up the head to match where the chin is, you can see it kind of is really, that's the quote unquote accurate measurement. But if I pull it down, you can see that the head is really, really high. It's way too high. So I had to, oh, no. I pulled it down a little bit so it can more accurately the thing. I could just press Control Z, I don't know why I'm doing all this. So there's that. What else? Which also makes me realize a little bit more in passing. If that's not correct, what else is correct? And we have this. A lot of these head measures are slightly inaccurate. So the head, everything looks a little longer, but I think it's inaccurate, but it's kind of doable. I don't mind Kerry being a little lankier, but because the head measures guide is not really like concrete. It's not gospel. Let me move this back up slightly. It's a little bit more like chin height, so this feels a little bit less thingy. Less thingy. I don't know how to describe it. You only notice these after you go to bed and you have like a full night's sleep. Let me see. What else do I have on the agenda? I have to give her a dress because obviously you can't have a witch without a dress. I'll probably just hide these head measures for now. Well, just for now, so I can see better where I'm working with. Fixing this broom thing is one of my top priorities, but I will probably just flush out a dress tonight in the meantime and fix more of what I want the hair to look like for the head. So let me start with the hair, because expressions wise, I don't mind the hair being the way it is, but I want it to, it feels more like it's a little too uniform. So let me start erasing. Particularly, I feel like this front bang could be a lot more forward. So kind of like this, or if I really wanted to make it feel like it's breaking up a little bit. It's successful. What the fuck? What the fuck? Okay, it's back. We're back. I just paused for a second and I realized that my stream hadn't caught up with me. So for I hate Twitch these days. But these days Twitch really has been a little bit on the weird side. Internet connectivity on the whole, because I have like serious trouble connecting to YouTube, and it usually happens. It's happening a lot more frequently at night. I might call my ISP, but the thing is, right, my internet speed tests show that it's usually very stable. In fact, I've been having like probably the most stable in-game performance recently. It's only like when I try to connect to anything that involves streaming that this issue comes up. So is that what was I gonna say? Yeah. I'm probably taking a little bit of time to do a little bit of adjustment. Um, in particular to Carry over here. I'll pull up a quick ref. The thing is, right, I started also working on fixing some of my previous design stuff. So Carry has more of a how do I put it? How do I put it? Uh where is my drawing rest? Clip Studio. Where is it? Turnaround. Real simple partial turnaround of Carry. So this is like one of the earlier ones. I think I just did this for like an art stream. I have to do some adjustments, some fixing, because as I work on this, as I work on more and more art pieces recently, I have sort of seen that my art taste has readjusted again. Um, and I really want to create a better design for Carry in the long term, which is probably why I haven't done a lot more work, and you haven't seen a 3D model of Carry yet. Um, I really do want to like make a lot more fleshed out, a lot more stuff. So I'll probably, and I hate the idea of doing this, but I'll probably have to do like another model that's a little bit more simplified, so that way I can properly do a design for her without having to feel like, you know, if I'm sacrificing something, um, which isn't too bad. Let me pull up the other refs. I think it's right. It doesn't even look too bad in Sketch, I would say. And like some of my earlier sketches, I don't think it looks bad in the sketches. It's like the turnaround that I did, but where the major issues with the turnaround is that while it looks good from a three-quarter, the three-quarter views, particularly this view and this view, I feel like it's not exactly the style, and then like it veers off. It veers off so much when you get to the side profiles. The back profile is probably normalish, but I think that in long term, and I'm gonna go through it here. Long term into like if I was supposed to stack this and supposed to have a character turn all the way around, it feels off. It somehow feels off. So I'm going to probably take some time in the future and do a solid stream where I just, you know, try to do a proper 3D turnaround. I might actually have to even change the design. But for now, let me continue with this. So a few things have changed in the original for the side profile. I started adding a little bit more of this where the nose sort of lifts off the face, and it sort of looks more like what do you say, a regular 3D design. It looks more like the cat mouth kind of drawing and stuff. So I decided that was one of the things that I wanted to change. In addition to, I think if I have to go back and work around a lot more things, I'll probably start changing how I shape her hair, so her hair feels a lot more natural. Yeah, so the things I'm gonna obviously keep, like if I need to redo some of these things, I'm probably gonna keep how I might lose my train of thought. I'm gonna keep how her overall face um looks probably bring the eyes a lot more closer together. Um, her skin complexion, because one of the things that I think gets lost really easily is the fact that nobody really knows what her skin is supposed to be, what race she's supposed to be. Often enough, she's assumed as she's of African descent. But really, actually, I'm aiming for more of a East Indian look, but not like stereotypical East Indian. Um, and the reason why I'm saying this because there's a very particular person, I can't remember the name, but they come to mind every time I think about people of East Indian diaspora and like the uniqueness of their face. Um, so yeah, where's the thing? I need to also get better at drawing side view expressions. So there's a lot of things I have to improve on. And I'm doing it anyways because at the end of the day, you can't always. What was the saying? Sometimes you spend a lot of time just trying to do something instead of doing it. You just so part of the thing that I have to do is actually get better at doing things instead of just talking out just my thought processes. Don't know if I want to keep that. But hey, practice makes perfect or something. Let's see. Let's see what else I want to do here. Do I want to do any more further adjustments to the hair? Do I want to like try to adjust the lips? Because really and truly, side one of the other things I said it already, but I need to really and truly practice side profile a lot more. It's one of the few things that I don't really get enough chances to do as an artist. Or some things that I try to stay away from, but I can't keep doing that. Like, as somebody who has to, I want to become like do more animation one day. So I'm hoping that I stop avoiding these things. That and expressions. Expressions are a lot to do. Let's create a new layer group and call it let's call it a dress. Did I see the thing that I wanted from Pinterest? I don't remember. I never remember if I do. In terms of her arms, let me make it a little bit less roboticized, a little bit more realistic because it's not supposed to be. It's a little large. It's a little large. Where is it? If I use the head measures, so go back here. So copy these. No, not that. Don't copy that. Did I have like? So I guess we're gonna have to copy the entire group. Rotate about. Say we'll put it around this degrees, and then put this here. Huh? Let's P. I can't remember. Why does it not want to work sometimes? So let's use these. It's not the top of the head, but it's good enough. You can just stretch it up a little bit. Let me rotate. No, I have like head measures I already created and I duplicated. You know, I don't need to be doing all of this, but I am. Yeah, it's too long. Where is my references? It actually might not be too long, you know, but it's just I don't fucking know anymore. Because the way how I measured the arm was essentially if it reaches past if it reaches a certain point, that's where it's supposed to be. I probably just need to make it skinny. I feel like normally even so I would probably just do it, and then when it comes to the part where it's like, oh, it's time for me to check if my thing is correct, if my art piece is correct, and then you know it's not, I crash out. Let's get back. Let's see. And also, this is like super dark. If you are watching this and you're like, oh, why is this super dark? Why is it this? Why is it that? My apologies. I usually sometimes it's just when I do chicken scratch. Because I try to make my lines as light as possible. Ah, so it wouldn't appear like, you know, chicken scratch, but sometimes it's also just me doing searching lines that are horribly constructed. I mean, that's the point of a sketch, right? I mean, better sketches are like not what I do. If you want really good sketches, there are people who have mastered their craft to the point where they can do this effortlessly. They know exactly where to put lines, they know how exactly the lines are placed. But we here, I'm just doing what I can, and I'm trying to do it fast. But I think of lines as how do I put it? So I think of like the basic human body and all that stuff, and like I think about like robots. Like if you've ever like I don't know how old people are, but like Bionicle. Bionicle is really good for when I think about how to do these things. Um, Sometimes I do it like a little too beefy though. Sometimes like lines like these don't need to be this beefy. Um, Especially if you're trying to do something clean for the first time. I feel like the main key point of this is just don't do what I do. Because when you do things like I do, you end up messing around with anatomy and you don't properly get where to properly put things. But there usually is a point where you can afford to do certain things differently. Um, and usually I just kind of do things like this, where you back up, you look at the reference, you look at your what you have down for certain things, and then you come back to it. Uh, like I said, I'm not really the best artist. I am an artist, and I try. Uh, you draw this separately from the hand. So, I know, if I remember correctly, and that's the thing too, is I'm trying to think about this in like 3 dimensions. If I can remember correctly, we have this would be where the elbow would typically be placed. That's why there's that chicken scratch there. And from there, because the elbow would be jutting out, it would be kind of like there'll be this bump here, and then there will be like a small bending of the curve, somewhere around here. And I think what my original monkey brain was trying to do was try to be like, oh, well, this is where the arm would be. This is where the arm would logically be. So, and because it's going to be curving, let me also hide this for a second. This, not this, the non-dominant layer. And what I think my monkey brain was trying to tell me at the time was essentially, because I know this is gonna be in this particular position, I would the hand, and like it's gonna be in technically in between her legs. The arm would be a little bit visually shorter, because it would be bending in, but it'd also be a little bit fatter on the top, because that's how things are. That's what things are. That's what things do be doing. So there's a little bit of flex here, but that also means that this would be shorter. I have an actual standee model for this. I don't know why I'm doing this, why I'm being this difficult right now. I'm trying to do everything from imagination and memory. I'm trying to make sense of this, especially when I have a model in front of me. But who knows? Who knows? I'm a wacko. I'm a lunatic. It also probably means that, if I'm being honest, the arm would come a little bit further down, but I don't know how. Let me see something real quick, which is if I rotate the arm. So, no, there's an easier way to flick and do this, and I keep doing it the wrong way. If I rotate the arm down, this would reach to her thigh, like a little bit. Actually, that's perfect distance. That's almost perfect distance. So the most I'd have to probably do is lengthen the rest of the arm to match. I'm surprised I haven't done a marionette kind of doll design yet. So yeah, no, this is almost perfect distance. So it's just to, get everything else to match. Because this would probably be the other arm in the back is what's going to have to, quote unquote, stretch a little further. Um, let's see. Drink a little bit of tea. I need to do some updates to my VTuber suite as well. Like, on a serious note, one of the things that I kind of quote unquote realizing, like, is that while I'm doing all of these things here and I'm talking about my process, uh, my VTuber avatar doesn't really change much. And considering that this avatar was technically temp at the time, um, there needs to be more updates in order to fully sustain what I need to do. So let's see. Uh, Let me go on behind there. So yeah, that's one of the objectives that I need to do for, I think 2026, 2027. Uh, Let me move this reference over here. And just so the people, if you're still curious, because I do have my PureRef, somewhere here. Where's PureRef? They still even have that as a drop down. PureRef, PureRef. Ah, here we go. So let me, gently move it over here. Scroll in a little bit. This is what I'm using for most of the design stuff that I am scripting in the background. Let's see. Perf is weird because I have to always adjust frame. Maybe click that. And then change the frame sizing so that way it can actually. Oh no, don't do that. Change this frame sizing. Maybe I could just slap PureRef somewhere over here. Change the live frame. The live frame. So, okay, yeah, now that's a lot better. That's a lot better. That's a lot better. It looks like a pop-up ad. Ah, my god, why is my left hand killing me? I haven't even used this thing. I heard throw with my right. Okay, so I guess so. We'll keep PureRef in the corner here. Weirdly enough, that seems to work for the time being. It's moved again for whatever reason. Stop that. Stop that. Stop that. Stop it. Stop it right now. I need to capture the whole window or something because that I don't know anymore. So if I move it up here, it should be fine. Back to the thing. Back to the thing. I need to draw hands, which is probably one of the great ilks, and I need to draw it kind of clasping, so like clasping slightly from the outside. And now that means I have to look at hands and say which one is a good hand that looks like it's clasping in a non-weird way. So rotate it maybe. I should have just done this ahead of time, but for some reason I didn't. Let me rotate. Get spinned. Okay, let's try something. Um, might as well block out the immediate shape first. Feels like this needs to be bigger. Because so I know the thumb will be somewhere here in relation. Um, and I know the hand will have to wrap around here. Because we'll be doing it in like segments. And like the tips will be somewhere around here. What else am I forgetting? So if that's that, then the thumb will probably lie naturally around here. And that is kind of the dominant hand. That's the dominant hand done. You rotate it a little bit about, so probably around here, so that way it's a lot less intersecting with the thigh. Eventually, if I need to, I should have actually rotated the broom's body upwards because so somewhere around here, because we are for the so rotate the broom like slightly upwards, so that way we're giving it still kind of is like, oh, she is on the broomstick, but it's not like she's gonna be or she's gonna be off like the broomstick immediately, you know. So it's like she's holding on to it, but using which tactics or something it's not as like serious, because it's a little bit more upright, a little bit more foremost. This could be really weird to look at, by the way. I'm just gonna be real. It has, you know, more room to grab, to say the least. And because we now know that, we have a little bit more room to work with her non-dominant hand. So her non-dominant hand is going to be sort of the thumb is going to have to overlay the so somewhere around here the thumb will actually be intersecting with the dominant hand. um I'm talking about my process. Yeah, the thumb will be protrusion will be not protrusion. It'll be protruding over from the dominant from the non-dominant hand, which will be the hand in the background, and it will be sort of like gently grabbing onto this, so that way it can maintain stability. Um, so it kind of looks like if I remember my thumb segments properly, it looked something sort of close to this. Um, this isn't me looking at the ref, by the way, like too much. It's more so me trying to remember how hands work, because one of the things that I did a lot of in my artist free time was drawing hands. Oddly enough, and the reason why is because like you have to try and do things in segments. I don't know why I did a lot more of that now, and like I can barely remember how to do certain things. But it's how my brain is. My brain is weird. Uh, so because of that, the rest of the hand can technically. So like if I'm thinking about it in 3 dimensions, because we already know that this segment here would be where thing is, the rest of the hand would sort of be around here, because you can technically draw an arch, from the thumb, and it would, you know, lead you around. So let's say the rest of the hand is somewhere around here. You could just follow the reference at this point, like I just being weirdly difficult. And because of that, hand will be a little bit. Let me move this hand up a little bit more, so that way it has a little bit more room to do its own thing. Rotate it a little bit. It would also technically get smaller. So let me zoom in a little bit. So, because the rest of the hand will be hidden. I'm getting an ad. My apologies. I realize I'm on the pen layer. Oh god. E again. Yeah, pen layer makes it a lot more solid. So let's see. And it's going to be somewhere around here. And then the largest segment should be around here. I could also save this because there should be a thumb, like thumb palm kind of thing somewhere. I'm gonna have to turn this around because my brain is not registering things. What? Get flipped. Yeah, so it'd be something kind of like this palm but inverted. How y'all doing tonight, by the way? It's Thursday night, by the way, nearly Friday. I know tonight I was supposed to be streaming a game actually, but I needed to be productive. I was gonna probably have been streaming Zenless or Elden Ring. I still have Elden Ring, Zenless art to actually do, by the way. So I'll probably be doing that in like a future stream. So main reason I'm doing art tonight is because I need to absolutely start knocking out things from, you know, my list of things that need to be done. And one of them was art. No, so I just remembered if the hand will be here, that means that this would probably be pointing up a little bit more. So this will sort of be like this, and then the rest of the hand will be down here. Yes, I'm remembering things. So sort of like this. What else? But the hand will obviously be a lot larger because it'll be going so in this direction. What else? What am I missing? From the pie of astonishment. So if that would be the case, probably need to go around here. Need to think of like these segments now, and might actually be better to look at this rough. Zoomed in a little bit weird. So in the reference itself, because the thumb is more secure in the hand, it will be okay, it's securely over and then not just gripping. It would be these fingers kind of protrude out more. Um, but we kind of want our hand with our fingies to be gripping around. So sort of like this in a way. So if I were to redo this, let me see, because it'll still have to follow a natural arch. So let me see if I can. Let me see what I can bullshit real quick. Let me see what I can bullshit. And see if I could actually make something that makes sense. So real quickly. But that's will probably give it through fingers, and we don't want to do that. We don't want to do that. That means I have to move the hand up more. Let me, just real gentle like move my hand up a little bit more. Kind of looks more like if the hand is getting ready to clear an instrument. And that's not bad, eh? That's not bad. It just means that, but we do have a lot more work. It needs to be done. Yeah. Captain a apology right now. Let's see. We could sort of curve it more like so, and then have this finger sort of be a little bit more, because it's like the ring finger. So let me clean up a little bit while I work, because it's gonna be a bitch to try and come back and cipher things later if I don't do some of the cleanup now. So, some of this is also like, there's gonna be like, things that I need to come and like solidly work out the details for, like, let's see, because this finger would need to sort of, there needs to be like more of the curves here on some of these fingers, but as a general rough shape, this isn't too bad, but I will definitely need to come back and work out more of the details. Especially since I'm let me make this finger a little bit more closer, because I think in terms of like how everything fits, I feel like some of these need to be a little bit more closely packed together. And like they fall off a little bit more sharper, coming closer to where the edge would be, the potential edge, so let me draw a few more squares. and a few more cylinders. So it kind of looks more, a little less like sausage. Let me move this a little bit more center frame. Now the issue is connecting the hand. Connecting this hand to where the rest of the palm would be. And the hand is also a little big, retrospectively. Like even if I clean up here, like the rest of the hand will need to be a lot smaller in order to fit, especially in comparison to the other hand. So might as well shrink it now. Let me just lower it down a little bit, and just adjust the sizing slightly, because we can't have both of these be the same size. One of them has to be smaller, even if it's just slightly smaller. It needs to be smaller. And also from here, and just tweak. Good thing about digital tools, man. The really good thing about digital tools is just the fact that you can go and, like, if you say you do this first, you draw the hand first, and it's a little too big or it's a little bit too small, you can go back and just edit the size proportions to suit a little bit better. It's not that complex, it's not that complicated, and it's really good. It's really good when you're short on time. Trust me, as somebody who loves, I really love my traditional art, but I can't ever imagine some of the time that this thing takes. It takes to, like, get things done. Am I forgetting anything? Probably am. I probably am forgetting a lot of things, but I don't have the time. I don't have the time to, like, intentionally color match. Let's see. Bring this back over here. Let's make it. It's kind of orangey, but not too bad, I guess. And we want these to connect. So let me draw. I'm gonna start drawing some of these. These obviously need to be wider in certain segments, by the way. So around here would typically be like a small, everything straightens out type curve, and then it flip back over.
High-quality music without hearing ads. Mix up your playlist with song recommendations from Smart Shuffle, or take total control of your listening with unlimited skips and repeats. Experience music without limits. Tap the banner to get started.
But the thing about it is that now that, like, I kind of get it a little bit in my head. I'm like, damn, this is the other hand now needs to be a little bigger. Oof. Pressure. It's good. Yeah. Yeah, that will do. That'll do for now. At least it'll allow me to come back later and be like, okay, yeah, I know what I want to do. I wanted to do this. I want to do that. The only reason why I did so much detail on the sketch of this hand is just because I wanted to be like, all right, I know what I want to do with this hand. This is the foreground hand, so let me name this as well, as the non-dominant hand. Non-dominant. So that way when I come back to sketch and fill out more details, it would be a little bit easier. Okay, now it's time for me to take care of something that genuinely bothers me a little bit, which is the dress. Let me switch back to black because I don't want to do this as a actual color sketch. I want to use layer colors, so that way I can just go and select from a list of colors. So we have this, which is a purple. And what I would like to do is I want to do like a witch dress, obviously, but something, not too I was gonna say witchy for some reason. I don't know why. Witchy does not sound like it's the correct term in this case. But I want to do something a little bit more little bit Halloween theme. I already did the hat. The hat was part of one of the references that happened, that I got from Pinterest. Shout out to Pinterest. And I want to redo some of the not redo. I want to like give it more of a bolder taste, bolder flavor. I don't know how to describe it, because when I say bolder taste and flavor, I think I'm talking about food. Let's see. And first, let me do a layer mask. So, let me quickly, just on the layer mask itself, erase away some of these areas. Clip Studio Paint is one of the interesting in the fact that how it treats layer mask, because for some reason, instead of treating it like, oh, to do this you have to use black, use white, if you like to mask away like a normal person, because watch what happens when I use the black or I use a different color. It stays. You have to, if you want to erase in Clip Studio Paint, you have to actually erase. If you want to mask it, you actually have to erase it. Just as in a temporary mask, by the way, so that way I can focus a little bit more on what the overall outfit would look like. And it's just to this layer here on top here. So I like how it already is with the hat. The hat is probably one of the better features so far. Now I just need to figure out how I want to adjust some of these properties already. I need to restart back recording time lapses, but I can never do it on Clip Studio. It's also not going to be a full body art, unfortunately, because like a full body sketch, because full body sketches would take a whole lot more time, and I'm actually technically doing 2 pieces at once. Let's see. Let's get back to the dress. Let's get back to the dress. I forgot to save the reference. Of course I did. Give me a second. I'm just gonna go back on Pinterest and get back. Pinterest really had some really nice ideas for like clothing though, and that's what I would say. Um, the good news is that they also got rid of like they also added an AI filter, so most of the stuff will be filtered over. Um, where's my saves? What's my save pins? Your saved ideas. I have to actually go to the boards. Was it in refs or was it in another folder? I do not remember. It wasn't in. It's not in refs. Pose references maybe. There's a lot of shit in here and it's not even what I'm looking for. I should have really done a better job at marking down the references that I want to use. Figure drawing references. Don't remember. I genuinely don't remember. I swear to God I did save this though. On organized ideas. Maybe it was in here. Is it here? It looks like it might have been here, but I don't know. Whatever. We'll just look for it again. Always save your roughs, people. Always save your freaking roughs. Maybe it's this. Was it? It's copy image. Well, we could use this in the meantime. Where did I put this? Where can I put this on my artboards? Paste it here. So, really, actually, I'm thinking something like this, but I need a better idea of what it looks like from the side. This is cute though. This is cute. You'll start off using this because it gives me a good idea of where to put some of the clothing lines. So, I mean, real hot kill shit. I need to stop saying that because my sister says that a lot. Quickly put the arms as blue. So on the temp layer, decrease the size of this, and so in a three-dimensional sense, what's going to be happening is, so this would be where the clavicle is. This is where, and it's sort of, I don't want to say it rises. I mean, you wouldn't know which part it rises from, right? It sort of would curve down with the general shape of the body, which would leave the arms exposed and a little bit of this upper shoulder area. So technically it would be somewhere around here. Now the question is, because it has floof on some of the larger parts that come around the midsection, so if I have to draw floof and puff, like I want to do it something like, where would you think this would come actually? Where does actually like come in terms of like a placement? Because really actually I could do it a little larger, cover the shoulder, a little bit of the shoulder bend, but I wouldn't be able to properly deduce it right now. I mean, this is just generalized shapes, right? So we'll refine more of the shapes the further along we go into the sketch. But boy, is it clear to my brain. So Control S, make sure you save regularly, because Any major issues is that I would do a long piece like this, and then midway through, or some unfortunate aspect of life, um, my internet will cut off. Also, let me clarify right now. I'm not going to be using this outfit. I'm going to be doing a variation on it, obviously. Well, obviously, and also not obviously. Um, mm, and the variation that I'll be doing is just, adding my like own personalized touch. I like the choker as as like idea. The choker is a nice thing that I could include on it a little later in the stream, but I don't think there's any actual reason for me to include a choker right now. Da, 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 da. I need water, man. Let's see. Let's see. Do we want to do big floofs? Let's do big floofs. Let's do big floofs with that sort of contour with the arm a little bit, but also puff around. Let's see where the elbow would typically be. So if I do it around, say I want to do it around here. Right, this is where one of the big floofs should be. So it's another one of the big floofs. Kind of thinking about bell shapes, but also thinking about how the little rounds and like stuff in between. So around here would be the little ducks and like the pleats and stuff. So and because I'm aware, keeping a little level of awareness as well, because we aiming for overall shape. We're not aiming for just that this will be how do I describe it, right? Thinking about it like aiming for that this will be rounded, but also a little puffed in. So I'll probably not even. While this is working, I need to do a few more adjustments. I need to define a few things real quick. So I know this would probably be lower than chest. So like probably around here would be where the hoofs end. But if I want to make it my own, I'll probably, and also let me quickly do something. One real quick adjustment because where's my value? So pull this down a lot more so I can differentiate between the background and what I'm drawing. I should have really just gotten up and get more water. So we could do smaller poofs or we could do larger poofs. Which do you want to do? Let me also turn down some of this as well. This is why I was so stressed out earlier about the cleanness of the forearm, because I know my ass would have, had a little bit of difficulty differentiating. Let's see. So let's have this be like the end point, which wraps around the arm. Give it a little thickness so that way it will, wrapping around, it will actually be a little solid. flare here. From there I could probably work out some generalized shapes, because everything will essentially be tucking in to this point on the arm. So start off with this. Let me curve out a little bit. And also curve back in. Okay, we have a little bit of a thought process going on. And I say this very loosely because I have a thought, but at the same time, I feel like I can be better matching these thoughts. So I like the general idea though. We'll also have to do something around the same. By the way, the idea as well is also to give her like a little like sheer rim with like I want to say additions, but I don't think additions is the right term. So I mean that'll come a little later though, because as of right now, here's what I want to do, babe. I want to poof it up. I want to make it more poofy. I want to poof the ever living shit out of it. This is the worst way for me to describe it, by the way. This is the worst way for me to describe it, but like making it more poofy would help a lot more in the kind of like language that is, you know, going on here. So, but it would also, let me see. I need to find some shoulderless tops from this side. It's so weird what you should search up, by the way, when you do art. So, shoulderless top side view. Actually, this is pretty good. This is kind of a little bit more what I'm going for. Copy image. Just a little. It's a little less gothic, but it should serve as good reference. So let me zoom in a little bit. So this is the shoulderless top idea. So I also now know that it curves a little bit more from the back. It's like more of one solid piece, but it's interesting. It's interesting. Give me like about 5 minutes, because I'm running out of tea. Change that. I ran out of tea. I'll be right back. Yeah, I'm myself like a hot pot. I have water. I have water, Squidward. I have water. Ugh. What's going on there? What's going on here? What's going on here? Ah. I probably will look for side view. We'll take. I'll take one more reference. Probably this. I mean, it's just to use as a reference, but you know, some people just get some websites. Right. You can really clearly see more of the curve here in this example, because it just means that the dress sort of like curves along to the back. It also makes me wonder if I should even include like this little strap here, because if it's like tightly fitted on, would it make sense? So going back to this reference that we have here. Excuse me. Oh. Going back to this reference that we have here. Let me quickly. Jesus. You know, it was storm. Oh gosh. Oh my gosh. No, apologies. I think I want to make it a little bit more poofy as well. Wither Knight poofy. Make it more poofy in certain areas, but also I want to tighten it a little bit around the midsection and add a. Essentially, what I want to do is I want to add. Hold on, give me a second. Let me back up. I want to add like a beltish kind of thing here. So essentially what it would do is that right where the body would be tightening, quote unquote tightening. It's a weird way to phrase it. But right the kind of tightest point on the top would be somewhere around the midsection, coming close to where the navel would be, and I would probably want to include a little frill, like a soft frill at the bottom. So I think it would I just genuinely think it would look nice. Jesus Christ, it sounds like I'm suffering from the flu. So let's start off with just a little bellow. Like, I'm trying to think in third dimensions here because I don't exactly know what I want. I just have a generalized, vague idea of what I think it would look like. Um, like things to fully flesh off of stream now. Um, so kind of something sort of close to this. Uh, as for like I want to also give her like I want to say undershirt, but like sort of like it's like how do I describe it? Underneath, it's kind of like there's like this very fine mesh that would also help to separate in like color value the top from the bottom. um so I wanted to give that to her for his sleeves, um leading up to where the hand would be. Probably give her some gloves. I may actually increase the height for some of these things as well, but I just think it out loud at this point. And honestly, I'm gonna be real with y'all. I'm gonna be super real. It looks at this point, it kind of looks more like if she has weird pajama lingerie, and I don't like that. um, I don't like that. I mean, let me zoom out for a second because maybe I'm exaggerating it. No, that looks like pajama lingerie. This is not division. This is not division, I swear. Okay, so let me get back to this. Let me get back to things. So now let's see. Let's have this be. Let's work on the skirt, the overall skirt. So this is a little high even for a skirt, but we have the waist. Start off with the waist. She kind of dips in the back here, and then I want to let's start off with a very generalized shape. And I need to actually, now that I bring it up, I feel like one of the other things I need to get a little bit more mastery over is clothes in very specific.
Want to spice up your listening? Smart Shuffle can weave in song
I
recommendations
I
for your
like.
playlist when you join
Oh my
Spotify
god,
Premium.
so many freaking
Or start a
Spotify
jam,
ads.
where you
So
can
many
invite your
Spotify
friends
ads.
to
Oh
create and
god.
add to shared playlists, all with unlimited skips and repeats.
Hmm.
Tap the banner to learn more.
Let's see. So if I were to be drawing this from, so we see the position of a dominant leg, it would actually have to follow the flow of the, where I would think some of the pleats would land up. Ah, spam. Spam bots. Yeah. Oof. Oh my god, I hope I'm not coming over the food. And let me drink some more water. Mm. And that's the end of my water. Yeah, which means we gotta end stream pretty soon. At this rate. Oh god. Okay, I have to clean up with some stuff real quick. Make this a harder line, but also make sure that if anything, this sort of like goes out, because I have to make sure to also include where the leg would, where the pleat would rise because of the leg, and where it would probably just generally fall off. Because I think, if I remember my principles correctly, some of these things would just be falling off a little bit more shallowly. Also, I need to increase some of the sizes of this, by the way. So around here would be a little bit more meshy, dungeon meshy. General concept is a lot better, but I need to get a little bit more. So let's, on a separate layer, I'm gonna do this because I don't feel like I should include it on this layer. It's like color. Yeah. That. We move this away because drag and drop in dialog boxes is so fun. It's so fun. It's so fun. Let me make sure also my audio is also still properly set up and correct. Oof. You know, one of these things I keep forgetting to do is properly set up my my thingamabobber. So let's say I want to do a little dreamy style thing like this. And also let me lower the opacity, lower the value. Lower value to around here. So that way I can at least be able to distinguish a little bit better between the two. So, thinking of frills, and if I have to think of frills, it would be something like a bunch of valleys, a lot of hips, a lot of hips, dips, and so on and so forth. So, something a little bit more akin to like this, but it's at the same time not really feeling like it's not as cute as I want it to be. I probably had to go back and look up some cuter reference or do a little bit more research on how to do frills well. But yeah, I know we're just trying to flesh out a concept. Am I vibing with this? Not too much, no, dog. I know you really vibe with it. Let me see. Because the thing is, right, I want to make everything really, really poofy. I'm not too sure if I know this too much. Uh, let me take a stab at it. Let me take a stab. So you need to think about positioning first and foremost. And I think if I want to position some of these things, I want to also have them be like sort of around and up and around. Let me change the heat. The hue, make it a lot more pink. Maybe I shouldn't use pink. Maybe let's go. Let's use another color. Let's use green. Not that kind of green. Gotta use oh god, but the thing is, if I use that color, it's gonna be ugh. It's gonna be. It's not gonna be bueno. So use this. Maybe I should just stick with purple. Let's see. Maybe instead we have the frills sort of popping out like this. So they kind of would follow the way that the dress would actually be shaping like the cleavage and things and stuff. And in between these, because we had the little counter curves here, it kind of helps it to keep a little bit more volume. I'm thinking a lot about this. Because honestly, I don't want it to just look like she's wearing nightwear. I want to make it look like this is something Carrie found like for her little like shopping or something. I was like, this is cute. I like this. I'm gonna wear it. I don't even need to do all of this, like I genuinely I waste a little bit of time by doing all of this, but I rather just make sure that the pattern or the flow feels, a little genuine, so I don't miss out anything particularly. Right, and from there, you could sort of like make a little bit of a tulip shape. Alright. Feel like it needs to be a lot more poofier in the back. Ugh, never being satisfied. Probably. Hmm. 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 I'm not too sure, dog. I'm really not too sure. Um, like the skirt is fine, but the top is not giving. Oh man, let me lower the opacity on this. Change this. Pull this back up. Maybe. Hmm. Maybe I could just keep it a lot more simpler instead. Um, keep it like to some blacks and stuff, and I mean maybe it's also purple. There's only like one way to properly tell, and that's probably like later in the processes. Not trying to like fully like do everything that I need to do. But as far as streams go, we have done a lot. Let me also do a little bit more on the legs before I go. So socks, because I kind of want to make it like, oh, she's wearing which socks. So quickly. And the socks are just going to be super simple as well, because just need to follow the like the shape of the leg. Like I'll probably like I just draw in like the basic lines so can come back later. Like super basic. Uh I might even change this instead of making this like the poof, I'll make it like can I do that now actually? Let's see. Uh because I'm thinking about it now and I'm like my brain doesn't want to let go of the idea because it looks so much like bedroom wear that I kind of don't like it at the same time. So, let's see. Yeah, that's why we have a few designs here, at least. Let's say that. So, I still keep in this little fringe here because I still want the kind of top look, but let's see. So around here, and I want to make it really big and poofy instead. So it kind of flares out. I mean, it won't flare out initially at the top, and that's the thing. It's like, but as it gets closer to the bottom, it flares out like more and more. Man, I need to turn up the opacity because I'm not seeing shit. Uh, I may have done a no-no. So let's go. Show it the speed. I feel like I'll probably, it's 11 o'clock. I feel like I will call it quits for now, respectfully, because as much as I like working on these, I feel like I was kind of working against time a little bit. I might come back with a better design for the top. Probably make it a lot simpler too. So instead of it being like a crop top, it's actually just like it crops at the top, but it's just a shoulder stop that fits a little bit more uniformly with her body. So let me see if there's anybody I can read at the moment. Um, so we have Arasa, we have Quixie, we have anybody else streaming art tonight? Anybody streaming art? I don't think so. You actually just, you know what? I'll just sort of, Um, Thank you everybody for being here. I appreciate each and every one of you. Um, I will be streaming tomorrow. Tomorrow will be the news and let's update. I will be back tomorrow with more stuff, more content, and so on and so forth. Um, I don't have anything else to say. Remember that Saturday we'll be doing. I'll probably be doing off stream a Manga Studios collab. So if you're interested, let me know. Send me a DM. I will send you the link. Um, as for that, um, enjoy the rest of your night. Stay safe. Keep drawing. Have a good one. From me to you, we are closing out. Enjoy the rest of your night, pilots.